Good afternoon, everybody. This is Matt, and this is the Instagram Collectors Roundtable, episode 4, and our first time on the Essential Credentials channel, which is where it will be found from now on. Today, I am joined by my friends Tim, Kelvin, and Logan. And today we got 4 topics that we're going to be covering, which is going to be pretty exciting. Just differing topics. We each kind of came up with one. Kelvin would have, but he was gathering all of his amazing mail, so he didn't have time for that, which I'm excited for everybody to see a couple of those. Absolutely wild. How have you guys been? What's up?
Been pretty good. Just keep picking up some more cards like we all should be, right?
That's right.
Yep.
The chase is always on, right?
Right.
Kelvin, I feel like every time you get to go over there and get your mail, it's like Christmas once a month, right? A bit different
Yes,
for you,
yeah.
man.
Once a month, I like buy whatever. I'm like, I time everything. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be there, on this day because that, a show is on the same day. I'll just go eat dinner with friends after, and then I'll just grab like my 20 or 30 packages, just open it all up.
Makes me kind of wonder, like, if we all did that and challenged ourselves to not open our mail for a whole month and just pile it up. But yeah, Tim's like, nah, I'm not doing that. Could you do it, Logan? I bet you could do it, couldn't you? No.
That's kind of how I feel CompC is.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, okay, I should send these.
Yeah, that's true. I finally did it, but I selected the cheapest option, which has obviously their time has gotten a lot better lately, especially sending to me because it's just from Washington to Alaska. It's quite quick. But I picked an option that was like 3.5 weeks out. And I was like, oh, I'll come back home and it'll be here when I get back from my trip to Washington. So something to look forward to. Hey, I wonder if anybody know who this guy is? I think we've heard of him before.
He sounds familiar.
Yeah. What's up, dude? Yeah, Alex is gonna join us next week. So that'll be fun. But CompC's been really fun. I think one of the coolest things about it is like when you're building like a complete collection on my end, like a PC of a player, you can really round out those like little base cards that, of course, you're not going to spend $2 and then $2 to ship a base card here from wherever on eBay. Unless it's really cheap. So it's really allowed me to get some of that stuff crossed off. So that's been real nice. And then obviously Logan helped me out with the card on there. So I'm excited to see what that looks like in person because I don't think either of us have seen those mask golds in person from that year before. So that's going to be really fun. But so today we were going to introduce Alex. So we're going to have to wait till next week for that. Sorry, Alex. But we're going to start with talking about sticker autographs versus on-card autos. I mean, I think we all know in general what everybody prefers, but I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about when it comes to sticker autos. Sometimes Upper Deck, at least in the past, have really done a good job of like designing cards that the autograph, like the sticker is built to go into, like the design is built around it, as opposed to like Logan, think about Parker's, an EPAC, they just slap them on there and they're not even straight half the time, So, I mean, that we'll get into that. That'll be interesting. And then I think everybody's privy to this. I mean, dry spells in collecting happen. No matter how big a player's checklist is or how expanded your PC is, there's always going to be times where nothing shows up, and like Logan suggested, like, what do we do when that happens? Do we kind of sit back or do we venture into a place we shouldn't? That's what my goalie collection's for. All of a sudden I start venturing there and I'm like, oh, geez, I shouldn't have spent that $50. So that's going to be talked about. And then, I think from time to time, just the amount of people in the hobby, every now and then you run into a person or like a trade or something that just doesn't go quite right, and how we bounce back from that. We're going to talk about that. And then the last one will be a showcase topic. We're all going to talk about a card, not necessarily an expensive one, but one that's design really captivates us and all the reasons that we like it. So I feel like it'll be well-rounded today, and we'll be able to talk about, all these things in depth. So it should be interesting to hear about. But just starting on the autograph side of things. I mean, does everybody in here, do they prefer on-card autographs?
I'm going to say yes. For me, I do prefer on-card autos, but I do have available to me 3 prime examples of some of my favorite designs or set that, as you were mentioning, they designed based around the sticker autograph itself.
Right.
So, I mean, if it's well executed, I mean, I do not mind a sticker autograph. But again, it has to be well executed for me.
Right. Right. How about yourself, Kelvin? I mean, where are you on this?
Yeah, I prefer on-card autos. Obviously I'm not a big auto guy, but I do think it looks better on card. Just cause I mean, it depends on the player as well too. I mean, for Marty, he can just keep a signature in the sticker pretty easily. But I mean, for some of the other guys, it's kind of hard, especially like who has a big autograph? Like Steve Eiserman. Like I don't think he can barely fit his autograph inside like a sticker.
Right.
Joe
So,
another one.
Joe Thornton.
Yeah.
oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Tyler Glasnow is the worst. I know he's in baseball. He was the worst, and now he's popular. But he used to do like the TG, like on a card, like half the card would be TG, and so the sticker would be like half of the autograph. It's like, geez, come on, man. What about you, Logan? How are you feeling about this whole sticker versus on card?
I'll be the same boat. I'd rather have the on card, but the other aspect of it is I look at there was a couple of years with OBG Platinum where, okay, why are they all bubbling? Well, if you can't get it done right, then just do a sticker auto, and you see that with the Prism, which, Prism football, or that's what I'm kind of thinking. And that's kind of, but then people don't really chase the autos, the sticker autos in Prism. They're like, oh, I want the low serial numbered parallel.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is tricky now because in modern, I don't feel like I'm trying to think of hockey the last 5-6 years. Can anybody remember a set that has a sticker auto where like the card was built to house the autograph? Because I can't really think of one at all. Off the top of my head, at least. I mean,
it's right on the tip of my tongue. There's one of Datsuk within the past 5 or 6 years where it was like the first sticker auto I'd seen in a long time. I'm just trying to remember the set it was from, but they did do a sticker auto set that was built around the design for that. Let me see if I could find it.
There's what about 3 years ago, Upper Deck, their autographs? I know the Flurry is like a short print, but I feel like the autograph is well placed, like as far as the design goes. But my thing is like, okay, can you tell it's a sticker autograph? Like super obvious. Obviously, when it's like a regular card and there's just like a plain old sticker right over the top of it, it's pretty clear that it sticks out really bad. No pun intended. But I think there's a few sets out there where it's just built perfect for the card and it doesn't take away from the design at all. Here's what Alex has to say. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be tough too, because there's players probably who don't sign a lot, and that might be collectors' only way of getting an autograph on a card. I'd like a let's see, can I get a Gatorade too while you're at it? But yeah, I know there's a couple that I'm going to pull pictures of. Does anybody have any cards they'd like to show example wise of like how a sticker autograph does work?
Yeah, I have 3 right here in my hand.
Go for
it.
I have one over here of Topps Bowman Young Stars, and you wouldn't know
yes, yeah,
a sticker autograph.
Mm-hmm.
Very nicely done. One of my favorites. Another one would be Honor Roll Signature Class.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's also another one. And then from the same year would be Rookie Update Top Draws. The one. So those are my 3 favorite sticker auto sets. I just feel like the designs were well done based around the sticker auto itself.
Yeah, those like mid 2000s Upper Deck autographs where there's like the white spot and it's like perfectly centered, like they built designed a white spot and then the sticker went on top of it. I feel like that it kind of hides the sticker a little bit. I do like that a lot. I think they paid a lot more attention to that, about 10, 15 years ago than they do now. It's just about trying to get the autograph. Like think about MVP. If you pull an autograph out of MVP nowadays, it's very hard to get one. Yeah. But I mean, does anybody really want an autograph of Spencer Knight from that, or would you wait for Stature to come out and get a Spencer Knight autograph from that and pay $100 more? So it is interesting. I put a poll up on Instagram and everybody said on card except one person. And but then again, like if you're a younger collector, which I think the person that said sticker is, that's your only way of getting an affordable autograph of a player.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it kind of depends, right? But I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think, can anybody justify buying a sticker autograph? How about that for a line of questioning? Like, why would you buy one?
I I only have one, and it's just because I love this set, and it's
yes.
10/11 certified.
Yeah.
This is my only sticker autograph, and it's just because I love that set. It's like my very first hockey set that I opened when I first came back.
Mm-hmm.
So
how do you feel about that design too? Like it doesn't, you can't really, you can see the sticker on the edge, but it's not like super noticeable, right?
Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, it's kind of noticeable because it doesn't like I don't know if you can see, but like you can bring it back up. It's like it doesn't match with the pattern because it's kind of like diagonal, but then you can kind of see. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, you can see the outline of the stickers a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't work that well together. But I mean, it was cheaper than an on-card autograph, so that part is nice, and it's out of 25. That's cool.
Gotcha. How about yourself, Logan? Do you have any sticker autos in that collection of yours?
Yes, of course. But
that you love.
That I love.
Yeah.
That I love. I mean, I obviously like those three Skybox Metal Canes autographs I got, but I could they have done the product without doing the sticker autos? All there is sticker autos in that. So
right.
Would you be complaining if it was a McDavid? Out of 10. That's kind of how I look at it too. And it's out of 10. It's not going to fetch a price as like on card, but it's a cool card. That's I look past the aspect of like sticker auto.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Let me pull that up too, because I mean we've talked about this set like crazy. There's a bit of. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And I'm just looking at my stuff here too. It's like all the Synergy cards. There's they have a lot of cool clear ones, and those are all stickers. I mean, it would be nice if they weren't, but let's see here, what else? And then you got Allure that is as well, and I'm not really too fond of Allure anymore, but it's I don't know.
Yeah. This, like, design wise, there's a bit of a fade here, right? So like you can see there's a sticker, but the card is so nice and it's rare that I don't think it's it's like not a Parkhurst out of 5 rookie auto. Mm-hmm. It really the sticker for the most part is straight, and an autograph looks good on there too. So it's like Logan said, I think sometimes the rarity of a card can take away or can add to it and not take away from it being a sticker.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say. I mean, also, this is the upper deck set I was thinking of too. I think as far as, like you can see the sticker, but the fact that they're getting it kind of within this, quote unquote window of the design,
mm-hmm.
And in a borderless picture, I just, I don't know. This is what works for me. Something like this. And this card really stuck out to me, even though it was a sticker. And it was one of the first times that I said, okay, rather than just getting a card and say I got a card, like I actually pursued this and wanted this. Like this is a big want list card. So anyway, I don't know what you guys think about this set right here. If you guys have one of your player or have seen these, but I think this is an example of Upper Deck doing a good job of this within the last few years. Building a card design around the autograph. So yeah, I think we're all kind of in the agreement. I do agree with Logan too. Like if it's a really rare card, like, if it's super short print or whatever, then you kind of go for it. I think there's one Fleury sticker auto on my want list, and I tracked one down, and the guy who has it says it's not perfectly straight either. And I'm like, well, the picture is awesome behind him. It's another borderless one, but it's just one of those that's just stuck right over the picture. And it's an Upper Deck autograph set from 2009-10, I believe. And Fleury's Group A, which Logan taught me about because I thought all the autographs had the same odds. Nope. All these Group A guys are super tough to get most years, right? Like 1 out of 2,000 packs or something crazy like that. So you kind of look past the sticker because all the other things are so, nice and rare or whatever. But that was the first example I came up. There's one other one that I'll try to find if I can. But yeah, I think it's always nice to know like a player held the card or touched the card that you're actually getting. That always is cool. So especially when it's like a dual auto, right? You get like a dual autograph of your 2 favorite players or
yes.
What's super cool cardboard has the Fleury, Waugh, Brodeur triple auto from the Cup, and I'm like, that's not even on the want list because it's beyond a dream card. But how cool to know that all 3 of those guys like had their hands on that card and signed it on card.
Mm-hmm.
So sick.
I have a similar card like that too myself, where I think about that same thing that all 3 touched it. 2001-02 Upper Deck triple sign at the times of Kovalchuk, Bure, and Kovalev.
Oof. Wow.
At that time, 3 great Russians, electric players, and it's like it's that mere aspect that puts that card over the top for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yep, that would be those are kind of like the peak of being like a team fan or a fan of a player or a group of players, because Juan, Brodeur, and Fleury being the top 3 winningest and all having a card signed back in 2010. It's kind of cool to see him. I guess all you need now is to have one with Luongo on there, right?
That's true.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Like Logan said too, if it's rare, that kind of takes away from it. Yeah, sorry, Kelvin. Sorry. Look, usually what it does is it'll bump you guys up. I don't know why it's doing that, but that's okay. I could put myself down there. Nobody's easy to see me. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's nice when it obviously having all these different players. I saw a card today. Had 8 goalie autographs on it, including Luongo, Waugh, Brodeur, Fleury, but then there was like Mike Smith and a couple other guys. I'm like, would you pay that extra just to get the 4 guys on there and 4 other random goalies? Like,
no, I thought that all the time.
I got one for you. I'm thinking of the cup cards. Where's the 9-way? I don't know if you've seen.
Oh yes, like the trifold one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I just know there's a Blackhawks one, and it's always up. It's expensive, but it's like they're all sticker autos. Yes, it's cool that they're all on the same card, but to get a 9th player, I don't need to see Tony Amani on there. Like,
well, and I wondered too, because I saw like an SP Authentic like 8-way auto, and they were stickers, and I'm like, is it just too hard to coordinate making that happen? I mean, that has to be the only reason they don't do it. Right.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, what's the most I've ever seen? Like, OPG Premier.
Such a good set.
I think like quads. Maybe there's like a sign of the times with like 6 or 8 of them that be possible. Like maybe rookie ones, because it's probably easier to get rookies to sign them.
Yeah, because they're all like at a rookie showcase thing or whatever. Yeah, that's true. Huh. There's one other card that I have in my mind, and I'm looking at my old scans, and I'm like, where the heck is it? Because I know I have it. It's on the shelf back there, but I don't want to get it. I want to show a scan because it's built. Not only is it built perfectly, but the sticker has a cool hologram on it. You guys remember those stickers that they used in like the mid 2000s, late
like the silver hollow ones?
No, those were that's what Alex was talking about. I don't know about these. Anybody want to chime in?
I go through Black Diamond. Yeah. They used that in a lot of sports, even baseball back in the
baseball had a lot. Yeah, like Leaf had them.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Topps use those silver things too? Topps did them a lot too, right? Like in triple threads, those were embedded at first as the auto. I've seen those.
Oh yes, older triple threads. Yes, older. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, the older ones. So, yeah, I think it's really kind of back and forth. I think if we conclude our discussion, though, even though I can't find the stinking card, wasn't prepared, right? My principal would be so disappointed with me. I think that if it's rare enough you can look past the sticker auto. And then if it's not rare, the card has a really nice design, then it's, you know, it's a desirable card. If it's kind of sideways and slapped on there and it's just whatever you can find, like the Logan and I have talked about this, the not stature, the acetate set that comes out, what used to come out every year, hasn't come out in a while. What am I thinking of?
Ice?
No, it's acetate. You got like the purple that are numbered and the clear that are really low numbered. Synergy, thank you. Yeah. That Synergy Flurry from last year, that's purple and it has the autograph on it and it's a sticker and it's like so ruining the card in my opinion. Like just take it off there and I'll buy a card. I don't care. Like it's out of 35, but it's just slapped on there. There's no
thought.
Design, no thought. Yeah, other than like, hey, we need to do autos. So that's the type of stuff that I can easily pass up. I don't know about you guys, but when I see that, I'm like, the rarity doesn't matter because it's just not well designed enough. But I think I told you that, Logan. Like, can we just take the stickers off both his clear and purple? I'll get them for sure. Dang it. Anyways, cool. Al's actually added some thoughts here too. You guys are going to be covered up. Sorry. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. What a list of people to have on there. Wow. Jonathan Chichi must be super stoked to be on that card.
Wow. That one year. It's just that 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was.
And he says that interesting enough.
Yeah.
Would anybody care that's not on computer or that is on computer, sorry, to pull that card up? The 2009-10. So you can find a copy of one of those 8 ways. Or is that 6 ways? 7 ways? 7 ways. Yeah. Something like that. One of those, like, just to see if we can. Was the Flurry one a B player? Yes, he was. He's been a B player. And those B players, obviously, yeah, we can't not mention those. The 1 auto per pack releases, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did anybody buy those back in the day?
I love those. Yes. Mm-hmm. As a kid, I mean, like to be guaranteed 1 auto a pack. I mean, that was a day less. I'm automatically buying a couple packs, asking my dad, you know, hey, you have like a couple bucks, get an autograph. I remember one time the last time I bought it was like, I think 08, 09. And the last auto was a Colton Gillies rookie auto.
Colton Gillies.
Yeah, Colton Gillies. Mm-hmm.
Is he a wild guy?
Yeah. I think he was. I think
so. Is he related to John Gillies, the goaltender?
Not sure.
I think it's Clark Gillies' son.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I know that. I mean, the checklist for those sets were massive, but like the bigger players, I know Fleury was a short print in 09-10. Alan from this channel, I'm sure you guys have seen a couple of his videos. He sent that to me as a gift. I had no idea it was a short print. You know, I was like, oh, it's just another sticker. I'm moving on. He's like, no, dude, this was a short print. It was very tough to pull. So I know the Gretzky from the original Be a Player when they were on card, that was like the Holy Grail card because it was a super short print or whatever. So anyways, yep. Well, sticker autos. We got a couple comments here. It would be interesting though. Some of the baseball collectors, I'd really like to hear from them because, sticker autos, there's so much of those out there now. I mean, the majority of your autographs are going to be that, but then Topps does like the definitive and they do, obviously some other high-end sets tribute that have really nice on-card autos. Especially like the big rookies, I'm curious to see like what a Julio Rodriguez sticker autograph is going to go for because this stuff is just like bananas right now. And his on-card rookie auto from Topps Series 2 is going for like $600-700, the unnumbered version. Like, jeez Louise. Wow. So I think sometimes like a hype of a player can definitely just like make people not care that it's a sticker auto. But anyways, enough of that for now. So let me see here. Next up, we were gonna, so let's talk a bit about. I think we can all agree we've all gone through a dry spell. Logan, what made you want to talk about this topic? That was yours that you brought up, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of in a rut right now. Just because, the Brinket's gone. DeBrincat was usually my guy to like, okay, let's go look at DeBrincat stuff, now that, I kind of got on Kane. And, then if I didn't find DeBrincat, I was like, oh, let's go look at Doc. Oh, let's go look at Doc. now I'm just kind of I mean, the last card I picked up was the Kane SB Authentic Retro Gold out of 100 from just this last set that came out.
Right.
For like $6, $7. So I was like, yeah, I can't complain. But just kind of like, I don't know really where to go. And yeah, I keep seeing some, there's a couple cards that are cool, but then I'm like, just kind of him thought about it. And I'm like, well, let's just watch prices, maybe find other sets that I really want, or want to, pursue or look into. That's where I'm at right now. And I don't know how everybody else feels about it.
What's it going to take to get you excited again? A new release? The hockey season starting? What?
Oh, excited? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's just, let's see with Kane, let's see what he's going to do. I mean, I won't stop collecting him, but there's just like, I'm kind of more, do I really need that? That's kind of where I'm at with him. And yeah, it's like the SP Authentic card. It's a cool card. It's out of 100. Yeah, that's fine. But other ones where I'm kind of
hemming and hawing about.
Yeah.
It is tough too when a team because I feel like you're a Kane fan, but you're also a Blackhawks fan, and when a team is like completely blowing stuff up and going rebuilding mode, I have a couple guys that I follow who follow teams that are not very good, and they're starting to get better. Obviously, Tim with the Red Wings, he knows what that's like, rebuilding. I follow another guy who's a big Orioles fan, and they've been playing great this year. Last year, they were awful. And to watch him, get excited about just the smallest little win or a nice home run or whatever, I think those little things got to keep going. But, when 2 of your 3 guys at your PC get jettisoned, it's tough to be excited because you guys aren't probably going to be very good. Kevin Lankinen's gone. It's probably going to be Taze and Kane. But I think you can also take advantage of the fact that you stocked up on DeBrincat and Doc stuff, man. If they start off hot, you can help yourself get whatever cards you want. I mean, you've always been good about that. So does that get you excited, the wheeling and dealing, or not really?
I mean, as far as DeBrincat, I'm definitely rooting for him because I'm definitely rooting for him. I've told myself I'm going to hold him, as long until I'm like, okay, he's, his Young Guns is, 60, 70 now instead of 30, 40. I don't know if it'll ever get that high, but who knows with the Senators and their market. I don't really understand their market. So I don't know the Senators market in general. But
yeah, I mean, Tim, Kelvin, you want to chime in here? I mean, there's other than Ron Tugnut, that's the only Senators player that I own, and now Gustafson. I bought a couple of his cards. Just he's on the Wild with Fleury. But either of you guys know what that market looks like?
Well, I mean, I think Josh Norris for the Senators right now, his stuff is on the rise.
Yeah.
Drake Batherson too, Stutzla. My goodness, Stutzla prices are high too. So I mean, there's a strong market right now for the current rookies. DeBrincat, if he meshes well with them, I'm sure that there'll be a lot of Senators fans who's gonna jump on the DeBrincat ship and start collecting him. But I just think the golden rule is always for any player. Whenever a player goes from their original team to somewhere else, the cards in hockey at least, it just naturally falls. It's just how it goes. I mean, so you'll probably get a good percentage if DeBrincat keeps on scoring 40 goals a season. He'll maintain about as close a good percentage of his original value. But yeah, it's just hard to maintain when players get traded to a different team.
Right.
Yeah. I was thinking about Tavares, when he went. That was one that stood out to me, but I was trying to wrap my mind okay, somebody that's 24, kind of almost in their prime age, if not in their prime, how does him going to a different team affect that?
I think if they start off hot, though, you got all those guys there, all that whole market for that team, let alone their best players, especially DeBrincat and maybe Talbot, you're gonna see that original jump. If they come out of the gate hot, the hype is always really high at the beginning of the season, especially if they go into the regular season having a good preseason and they're gelling. I think you could see it, like a mini spike, and then as they continue playing well, you got to take advantage of the times when his stuff is really hot, though. I know you're good at that. And Logan just talked about this because Alex said spending a lot of money on other stuff. Logan is probably out of the four of us, I'll say, maybe Kelvin, I'm going off on this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he's the most like, meh, don't need it out of everybody in here. And that can probably lead you to having plenty of money if something big does come around, right? I mean, is that kind of the goal? Like just waiting for that, like we just talked about. I don't want to jinx it, but there's a couple cards that you're working on. And if you were just buying random stuff during your, dry spells, you'd probably not be able to go after them as much. So, I mean, is that the idea?
I don't. I mean, I just kind of. I'm trying to. There's a weird thing that's like trying to find stuff to buy, or just to be like, oh yeah, that's a card I've been looking for, or just to fill the void. But for the most part, it's like I can try to move some stuff too. I'm in no rush to get that platinum portraits. It'll be there.
We need to peer pressure him to get one. I've been trying to make him buy one for 8 months now. Whatever, dude. That's okay. If Marc-Andre Fleury had as many cards in metal as Patrick Kane, which is pretty much like every set, I would be in the same boat, but he does not. So it was easy for me to go all in. But how about yourself, Kelvin? I don't feel like you're ever in a dry spell because, like me, we're collecting in baseball and hockey. So, there's always something, but what do you do when that does come around?
Well, I did before. I've quit a billion times before. It was... Yeah, so I think the first one, it was when Brodeur retired. And at the time, I didn't really have a direction with my collection. I just kind of bought all the new stuff that came in. I was like, oh, hey, he's in there. Let's grab that. And then, once he retired, he kind of stopped being in a lot of the sets. And then that's when I was like, yeah, that's a big dry spell for him. There's no more new stuff. What do I do? I'm a little lost. And then I did quit for a while. And then eventually I did find a direction. I just kind of worked my way backwards. Look back at the sets I really enjoyed and wanted to get cards from there. So I enjoy Panini stuff. So I would backtrack to Certified, Prism, Crown Royale, Dominion, and all that, and make a list of cards that I wanted from there, and then or even go even further back to the 90s and Pacific and all that. So I think. Yeah, it's finding a direction, finding cards that you really want. And, that may take some time because there's probably so many cards. But I think that's a good way to start with the dry spell. But and another thing is also side PCs is another way to deal with it too. Be it another player, another sport, just fill the void, just gets cards coming into the mailbox.
Right. What do you think, Tim?
So I don't really go on a lot of dry spells because I'm always having a lot of side PCs. And I mean, if you want to say dry spells is what helps me create those side PCs, which is what sort of Kelvin was just talking about. I mean, if you look down the long list of players I collect, I mean, a lot of them were created. Of course, I was interested in the players, but, a lot of the focuses and the collecting and the amassing of a lot of cards was just because maybe my other main PCs were dry. For example, Datsuk and Zetterberg. Zetterberg, my goodness, like I mentioned in the previous episode, it's been really, really dry. I mean, throughout an entire year, I've probably only picked up a couple cards of his, and he's my main collection. So what am I going to do? Just the collector won't be satisfied with a couple cards a year. So then it goes on to another player, and then another player. And to be honest, that's sort of how my titanium set goals or collecting sort of came to fruition as well, because things were dry on other fronts. And then I love the design of titanium. There's a lot of rare cards in there, low number cards, what I love. Yeah. And so then, boom, I just go to another, goal or something like that. Refocus. I continue to refocus through these dry spells. How I just keep myself engaged in the hobby.
I saw Logan smirk a bit. 2 cards a year. I feel like Logan could buy 5 cards a year if Meta Universe didn't exist. I think he just to prove that he could do it. I think he could. Am I right? Yeah, because you're so patient, man. I think that's a big thing though. Is There's a very big difference between everybody here, and I think that's awesome. Kelvin said it best: finding a way to like set a goal. That's what I did when Fleury. Either it was a dry spell, it was just too much. Like there's just so much of Marc-Andre Fleury. I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do here? And so I created that visual want list, and that really allows me to like focus my energy to finding those cards and meeting people who know people that might have a card. I think that keeps me engaged. And even though I'm not having a card come in for a week or two, a Fleury maybe, it's fun to like be on the hunt. And that way, when they do show up, nothing else matters. You just go for those cards. So it makes. I've had the least amount of mail comings this last 3-4 months during this summer that I've had since I started collecting Fleury, and it's been fun to like have the fewer cards mean a lot more, as opposed to when I was just gathering everything. So yeah, that really helped me. I'm curious. I mean, for everybody that's watching, we got a few viewers in here. What do people do? Al. I'd be curious to do because with Gilna, he doesn't have a lot of stuff released anymore. Although he just made the Hall of Fame, so hopefully he gets some more stuff from Upper Deck. But it's got to be tough when you're collecting retired players at times. I mean, Brodeur, obviously, best goaltender of all time. He's in everything. So it's not like you're going to run out of stuff, Kelvin. Patrick Kane's in everything. Zetterberg, not as much, but Datsuk. And then, of course, all your Red Wings. You can go anywhere with your Red Wings players. So it's a bit easier for us because we get so much stuff. But people who collect retired players, it would be tough to not venture off into like all Calgary Flames or Calgary Flames goalies or whatever. So there's a lot of cool stuff out there. And have you guys had this happen where like somebody shows off a card and you like go down the rabbit hole and you like see that card and then you try to find another card just to have that card from that set? And then you're like, okay, no, don't put it on the watch list. Just click the window, close it. It's like putting 5 things in your cart and then closing the window. You're like, all right, no, I don't need that. I've definitely gotten a little bit better at that because the goalie PC, that was what I did as a kid. So it's easy to like add stuff and buy a $5 card and then buy this card, So I've been very careful nowadays not to do that. Let me ask you guys this. What was the last non-PC purchase that you made? Just impulse buy, card looked awesome. Don't necessarily need it, but you thought it looked awesome, so you got it.
Today.
Kelvin, 2 hours ago, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What card was it, Kelvin?
I mean, yeah, it was just this card.
Oh,
I didn't need it, but it was just cool for $5. So I was like, all right, whatever. Oh,
can you show that again? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just for people that might not know, because there's a lot of baseball fans in here, what makes that card so special?
It's an unannounced parallel, I think, but from what research I've seen, it's like this card is 1 in 100 blasters, allegedly. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know much. I was like, for $5, I don't think that's a bad idea to get it. So didn't need it. Doesn't fit into any of my PCs, but just thought it was a cool card.
I know we're gonna try to get Logan to buy it for like $100. Seems about right. But it is really fun to go into card shows is the hardest because I say, okay, only goalies or a card shop. Like when I went to Pittsburgh and I left with like, $150 worth of goalie cards and they're all just in a binder now. Like, geez, I think 2 of them were Fleury base cards. So it's hard to resist for sure. What about you, Logan? This is going to be fun because I know you're going to have to go back probably a ways, but what was the last like non-main PC card that you bought?
I just sent it to you on Instagram.
Oh.
So I was thinking,
we talked about these. These are so sick.
I don't know if that was like during the episode or not that we talked about. That was probably the last one.
You and I were that was when we just chatted that one night.
Okay.
I'll show everybody this here. This is pretty sick. I've actually almost bought one of these too, just because they look so awesome. It's from Ultimate Collection.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So 2003, I believe. Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah, those are so nice.
And I think it's like the first football of first time Ultimate Collection went to football because it was with baseball and basketball prior, I believe. Maybe basketball, I'm not too sure. But baseball for sure, but
it was around the same year, I think. Yeah. 2003, I think it was the same for all of the sports.
Oh, okay.
I think.
But I don't know, it stood out and I was like, wow, I really like the design. it seems very, I don't want to say elegant, but yeah.
It's beautiful, really, man. Yeah. And all the white space in here, like, I wish base cars were designed the same way. These are so sick. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. We talked about you maybe trying to go for a few of those just because it looks so nice. And yeah, I like that. All right, Tim, I have it. I have it in front of me here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a card, man. Oof.
It was just, I love that select future prism golds, and then on top of that, the color match for the Bruins jersey.
Oh, yes.
I like the Bruins because I'm from New York. I'm a Yankee fan. So I cannot like anything Boston Red Sox. I'm a New York Rangers fan. I don't like the Boston Bruins, but the card just spoke to me, so I had to get it.
Awesome. Those are out of 10 as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh, what a card, man. I loved watching him play, but that first year I was watching a lot of Canes games because of Aho before I decided to really go after Fleury. Mm-hmm. I loved watching him play with the Canes. I do wish he was on that team still. Awesome. Well, I'm a sentimental collector, as some of you guys know. And after we did that episode and Tim pulled a card, I had to get a copy of one myself. It's kind of like represents like the start of the Roundtable. It was a fun memory for me, and it did come with like a tiny little something. It's nothing major, like you barely notice it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Do I say anything?" I'm like, "Nah, forget about it." But I have told Brendan, who did a lot of my art behind me, that if I was ever going to stop collecting Fleury or whatever, it would probably be Spencer Knight. He's a young goalie. He's an American goalie. I think that's kind of rare nowadays. Or just in general. So, and then I also traded for a copy of Jeremy's Young Guns because he's from Alaska originally. And I think that's kind of a cool connection.
Oh, wow.
Being from Alaska myself and him being an Alaskan goalie, and he seems like a pretty fun guy. He and Olmark have that cool hug that they do at the end of every game when they win. So, just kind of maybe grab a card or two of each guy. I feel like it looks cool. Like that Peachy 3D. I don't know if you guys have seen those. Those look really, really cool this year. And there was a Spencer Knight that came up for about, I think, $60 or $70, and I was close to doing one of those like dry spell grab it things, and I'm like, nah, don't do that. Stay away. So
all things considered for those.
I mean, it is. It was a great price. I should have just bought it, but I mean that's take $60 away from when a Fleury comes up, like the one I sent in the group chat today. So, got to stay away from that. Just got to be disciplined. So, Logan, you're going to teach an online class for discipline for collectors, right? I don't know. Can we get it? Can I get a credit towards research from you on that, please? I appreciate it.
Continuing education.
Yeah, dude. I just recertified as a teacher, but I can use all the credits. You know how that goes. So let me know when you're offering that. Okay. He's so much better than us. Cool. Al did say this too, and this is something that I've talked about with Kelvin, so I'm going to have to cover you guys up for a minute here. But, Kelvin and I have talked about when Brodeur went to St. Louis, right? And he doesn't – Kelvin, you really don't like getting those cards. At some point, though, maybe you do venture down that path. Right? Or no?
No. I mean, I'll only do it if, like, I did have an example here. Oh, yeah, here it is. I think this is the only time it's like, yeah, he's in his Devils, but then it's the Blues in the back. I think this is the only acceptable thing for me at this point.
How often are you going to look at the back of that card? It's not shiny.
Never.
Never. Yeah,
never.
Exactly. It's kind of tricky because I was talking to Logan about earlier when Fleury was traded to Chicago. I was so disappointed with not him being in Chicago, but the fact that he was traded at all. But let's not get into that. But finding ways to like him on other teams. So with his mask, we've talked about the black feather mask, Logan, one of the coolest ones that he had. And now with the Wild, with the Beast on there, I think his setups are so cool that regardless of how he does or how he's received on other teams, I find ways to, collect him, whereas like Datsuk never went to another team, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, the Coyotes cards.
Yeah, I mean the colors are cool, right? I know they're not very good. They haven't been good for a while either, which is unfortunate. But got to go see a game at their stadium, man. You'd be right on top of the players where they're playing next year.
Right.
All right, so let's touch on this topic real quick, and I think we can all relate. Maybe some less than others, but I'll make it general so everybody can relate here. Think about a time a card that you really, really, really wanted came up and you didn't win it, and you were surprised you didn't win it, and it bummed you out, or like you thought about it for 2-3 days. Can everybody relate to that at least?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, because I don't want to be too specific with this topic because it's different for everybody, but that could be looked at as kind of a negative experience, right? Where you're like, gosh, I've been like that autograph, Kelvin. We bring it up all the time, that Fleury SPA. I still can't believe I didn't win it because it went for so much more. I'm like, what happened here? But it's like bouncing back from something like that, or maybe like a negative interaction with it. You're trying to make a trade, somebody backs out of it, of like a dream card, and you're like, no way, dude. Like, what? So those types of things, like, how do you guys bounce back from those experiences? Because with the hobby being so big now, you can go to any scammer's page on Facebook and just see the large amounts of nonsense that's happening in the hobby now, or at a show where somebody's being just completely unreasonable. How do you guys come back from that, or try to avoid those negative experiences?
Well, for me, like when this happens, you're in the moment. You may have just lost the auction or just lost the bid, things like that. Of course, you're going to be, in your emotions for that day or maybe something like that. But for me, it doesn't last too long. The negativity or the negative emotions associated with that experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because, the great thing about card collecting is that there's always a lot of options. So, and when you sort of like accept the fact, especially like me, for example, I would love to get 100% of, let's say, that's Zetterberg's rookie year cards, right? Not including one of ones. But realistically, I cannot own everything. So I'm going to naturally lose out on some things. And I have,
Mm-hmm.
but I just move on to the next thing. That's what I always do. I move on to the next thing, because there's always so many options.
Gotcha. How about you, Logan? Any experiences that you've just been able to kind of shrug off, or are you pretty choosy with that kind of stuff?
I've been kind of picky, but I'm trying to think of something that I've lost. But usually it's one of those where if I really want the card, I can say, okay, let's put what you think is a good bid onto it. Maybe it might be a little bit higher than what you want, but it's like, okay, I at least tried my hardest. The ones I can't stand are the card seems really low, but I'm gonna throw just a little bit a better bid on it just to see, and then of course then it's like it's at $100. You throw like the card should go for like 150, but I'll throw 140, and next thing you know, it goes for like 250. It's like, where'd that come from? But it's like, no, I didn't really try for it. I just, I don't know. But I try not to beat myself up about it a lot, just because there's more cards out there.
Just like what Tim's saying too. You kind of in the same boat there, Kelvin, with that?
Yeah, I used to be more upset when I was younger. I was like, I'm never gonna see this again. It's but then it show up like a week later. I'm like, okay, whatever, it's fine. There's only one card that really hurts to this day, which is the totally certified platinum mirror gold out of 30, a Brodeur. Just because I had it all set up, and the guy listed it, but someone sniped it before me, and that hurt for like a couple days. But like, I mean, it still hurts, but it's not like I'm dying for it. It's like, well, instead of spending that money, it's like going towards other cards, so it's okay. I think but yeah, they both brought up good points. Just there's always more cards. It's fine. You'll survive unless it's like a 1-on-1. Then that might hurt a little more.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. There's always going to be something else to go after. It's tricky because the older the cards get and the lower numbered they are as well from 10, 15 years ago. It might be out of 50, but you might not see that again for 5-10 years. I mean, we talked about that artist proof Fleury from Pinnacle. I mean, that hadn't sold on eBay in 7-8 years, and that's not even a numbered card. I don't know how rare they are, but you really gotta make sure. I mean, if you really, really, really want something, you've read about this where guys spend way too much, and compared to where the other ones have sold. But it's when people are getting like really complain about not getting a card and it goes really cheap, and you're like, okay, well, you should have really gone aggressively after it. Now you're going to sit in regret. So it's knowing to really go after cards and then also being able to get over it. I agree. I think too, it's been good. Logan's given some good advice. I think we're not, we're going to meet people on Instagram or wherever that just, have different mindsets and are in it for different reasons, and definitely an easier way the block button exists for a reason. So should be well used in situations where people are spreading negativity, and I think that's one thing that's awesome on Instagram in general is people just seem to be very positive. Whereas like basketball, where all the money is, you just see all sorts of crazy stories. And I'm like, geez, I hope that doesn't bleed into hockey, because I think we're doing a pretty good job. But yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. I mean, I think everybody knows how to kind of just move on from cards, and it's when it's that like one card you're like number one want, and it finally comes up, and you're like, oh gosh, you get that nerve, the nerves going, and Kelvin, you click the bid. But I don't know about you guys, but I've come up with like reasons. Like when I lose a card, I'll immediately search for a reason why it was like okay to lose it. I was like, there was a ding there on the corner. See, like if you really zoom in, there's a tiny ding, or like, the autograph doesn't look that good or something. See, everybody's laughing because we've all done it. It's like I went after for a Fleury card, and I'm like, well, there's some nicks on the, it was like an acetate card by the autographs. There was a couple nicks. I'm like, that could go. There was another honorable numbers. That was a single color patch. Whatever. You got to find ways to get over it. So we're good at that, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Alex says it right. Yeah, that's true. Unless Kendall Mullen buys the Fleury, then it's not going anywhere. So Chris and I have talked about that. But I thought the last topic would be fun to talk about today. Is like obviously a showcase topic is good, where we can show cards and talk about cards. Is what it's about. But I spent some time looking through my binder and organizing it, and I kept coming back to this one design on a base card that I just couldn't get over. It just looked too amazing to not, come back to it. And so I thought we'd talk about a design, whether it's an insert, an autograph, a parallel, a base card that just does it for you on multiple levels, right? Now that card looked nice. It's just design wise, there's a lot going on. Who would like to start with an example?
I'll go right ahead. I'll start it off.
Okay.
So one card that, when we're just talking about design or aesthetics for me, I recently picked up a Teuvo Teravainen Fleer Ultra Platinum Medallion 1 of 1 earlier this year, and I'm looking at it right now. It's the way that they have like a holographic swirl on the card, and when you just move it around like any other holographic card, I mean, it just pops out to you, but it's just the swirling in particular. Yeah, there we go. And even then, that scan or that picture doesn't even do it that much justice. It just pops right off. And I know it's like, it is a 1 of 1, but still the design is what does it for me. Because had it been any other Teravainen 1 of 1, even though I sort of side PC him, that's a card that I'll pass, It
Right.
be a 1 of 1. But if this was, let's say, a card out of 99, I'm still gonna go after that Teuvo Teravainen card just for the design alone.
Right. And these deserve there's one of the examples where like you post a picture and then the next one over is like a video of you moving it in the light.
Yeah.
I think that's important to do with certain cards to really get the effect. Yeah, great example. Great set too. Last year they did Fleer Ultra as a standalone. So hopefully that set comes back someday. Always good photos as well. Let's see here. How about you, Logan? Which card are you going to go with here?
Which one? I don't know.
2 choices.
Yeah, probably the gold label.
All right.
Yeah, I just like I don't know. There's something about the gold label card that just it's probably one of the first cards that it's from 1999. And it's a little bit thicker, and
you hold it up for us.
Oh,
quick.
That guy. Yep, and there's the Hasek, and then there's the Broder. But it's just, it's a looks like we want to call it a refractor, but this is just the base card. And they had 3 classes. This is a class 3. This is a class 1. And I like the other day I was just on eBay and I saw that the Peyton Manning 1998 1 of 1 got listed. And yeah, that was
wow.
I think it sold for $6 or $7 but it was like, oh my goodness.
That's it.
I thought it'd be way more.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if that Anthony, is it Colazzo? He's the Peyton Manning super collector. I wonder if he ended up getting it because that would fit perfect in his collection, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a card.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like the design, and it would probably be one design that I'd be really excited for if they brought those, if Topps ever made hockey again.
Yeah, that would definitely be one I would love to see come back, especially with the class 3, class 2, class 1. The background photo is different in every card, so like you got you got variation within the cards, and yeah, that's just absolutely awesome. Would love to see that come back because like when the base cards are just amazing, then everything else is going to be just as nice. So can't go wrong there. How about yourself, Kelvin?
I chose let me get the year right. 2000, 2001, or sorry, 2001, 2002 Adrenaline. Blade Runner's out of 63. And yeah, that card. And just something about that card just speaks to me, I mean, it's foily, shiny, it's Pacific, oddly numbered from Pacific as well too, and
love it.
Yeah, just checks all the boxes, and it's such an interesting design. Like I can't think of another set that did something kind of like the computer chip, like motherboard looking kind of feel to it. So
right.
And I didn't know this existed actually until like earlier this year. So that's always cool too.
Yeah, I love how they continued the computer chip design on the outside of the card. You can see there's like a little gap there where there's a border of the design, and then they continued it. Mm-hmm. I like how you can see it around the outer edge. It's such a wonderfully designed card. Pacific, man, some of them, they just knocked it out of the park, and we've said it before, and I'll keep saying it, they were ahead of their time. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Great design. A lot of complexity there. I think for me, mine's a little more subtle. I found myself really, just in general, we all like Ultimate Collection. I think they've done a good, like Upper Deck does a good job with, the base cards looking nice, the inserts looking nice. Obviously, autographs or game used or whatever. But everybody can think back to, I think all of our players have one of these. Think back to, this is 0910. I want to make sure I get it right here. Yeah, 0910 Ultimate Collection. Think about the base card design on that one. I find a lot of reasons to like this card. And obviously, it being Fleury and having all the white gear on, I think it complements the white design in general. But a couple things to look at here is like this is kind of a glossy finish of Fleury. And if you look really carefully, it's raised off the card just a little bit. And then the rest of this is kind of a matte finish. Then you got the shadow here. And then I really like this, the script text right here, like the M, the A, and the F, having that script text on the side. And then, I just think in general, it's a really, really nice designed card. I wish there was a gold parallel of this. I'm not going to lie, like with some kind of extra foil finish on it, because Ultimate has done that a couple times. And now they do like the Onyx blacks or whatever. But this is one I kept coming back to. And maybe it's just because of the picture, but Logan, Kelvin, Tim, do you guys have a base card of any players?
From 0910?
I think I do somewhere.
I definitely don't, but I used to have basically Matt Duchene's Rainbow from 0910 Ultimate. So that would include his rookie auto out of 99 and then all the patch jersey and patch autographs. So I'm very familiar with what you're talking about, the gloss, the slight raise off of the surface of the card. It's beautiful to look at, for sure.
Logan, do you like this as well, don't you? Because I believe Kane is Kane in this set?
Yes.
He probably is. I don't have that one.
Oh, jeez. You're killing me, man. Funny enough, I'm looking at it right now, Kevin. If you find it on the side here, see if it's going to pick it up. There's like something that I noticed late. I can't find my light. There it is. Get more shine here on this part on the side. You guys, what's the camera? Right. See if we can pick it up here. There, the word ultimate is like, and there it is. You see it right there?
Oh yeah.
The T and E.
Yeah.
So like there's multiple layers to a base card. I think that is always really important when a base card, because when you open this product, base card, most people don't even care to look at it. You watch any breaker, they're like, oh, Marc-Andre Fleury, whoop, next card. Buying these on the secondary market is what it's all about, because when you can buy a card like this that's $4, but it came from $100+ box, I'll grab that stuff all day. So anyways, that's my pick. That's my pick for that card. But I only bring that up too because I think it's important. If you talk about dry spells too, go back through and look at some of this stuff. You know what I mean? You don't have to end a dry spell by buying a big patch auto or some super short printed parallel. Like some pretty freaking sweet, awesome cards out there, and put a binder together, and stop and look through all the cards, and I guarantee you'll find a couple that you're like, okay, you know what, this is sweet. And I found myself looking through all of the ultimate base cards that Fleury has, and they're all very, very well done. So I think, I don't know, that would be a fun picture to take, just all the ultimate base cards together. I think 2 or 3 years they did like gold parallels. I want to say like 07, 08 maybe. They did a pretty nice parallel out of 25. Right. And then they did it again with the Onyx Blacks, which look really cool nowadays. But yeah, just a little food for thought for everybody. But yeah, fun chat, guys. It was good to hear your thoughts, and I think it's always good to give people things to think about. Does anybody have anything exciting coming in the mail here this week that they're looking forward to showing next week?
Nope. I have something I'm bidding on tonight that I'd hope to get in the week, but I got everything in. Actually, let me not lie. I have a titanium rookie from 2001-02 coming in. That's my first from the set, and it's funny because you were just finished talking about having nice base cards and building a binder of them. And that's also another thing. Back in the day, I did bust open a box of 2001-02 titanium, and I keep all my base cards, but those base cards in particular from Titanium Hobby are absolutely beautiful and stunning, just like a Gold Label. They do have that gloss, that finish, that sort of refractor type finish to them, and for that reason alone, they went straight into the binder, and I used to love looking at them throughout the years, and I still have them. So yeah, there's some designs where, just like you said, if the base cards look nice, then that the cards following it, the parallels, would be even better. And for me, it's that one.
Awesome. Yeah, super important, man. You can't lose sight of the little ones sometimes. I mean, it's not for everybody. I get that. Collecting that way is not going to be for everybody. But I think we all, when we were kids, would have loved to have had just like the binders some of us have now. I mean, not gonna lie. I mean, that was what I was able to get. So I think from a young age, I found ways to really like and appreciate even just a collector's choice base card. Like, oh, look at the stats on the back, and they got all these different things. So I don't want to lose sight of that, because we all get caught up on these big time cards. And I mean, I had an artist proof from a $20 box product on my most wanted list. I mean, I think that's important to have stuff like that. But before we get going here, I definitely want to give somebody an opportunity to share a little something that just a couple dollar card that they bought. Anybody get anything in the mail recently that they would like to showcase to the 6 people that are watching live right now, and the rest that we'll see it later? We'll start with Kelvin. Right. I mean, we got it. We can follow it up, but go for it, man.
All right. Well, shout out to Logan for showing me the listing. Overpaid quite a bit, but I mean, whatever. I'm happy to have it. It is the.
Yep.
Oh.
So,
there you go.
Big one.
The 1/1 Century Momentous Black.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's an incredible card.
Not bad, not bad. But yeah, happy to get that. I was waiting for that for I don't know, like 2-3 weeks ago. So just been sitting in the mailbox. So I think that, and I know we talked about it earlier about like holding mail. I think the only reason I can do it is just because I know it's not within my vicinity. If it was, I don't think I could hold onto it.
You do. I mean, I would love to see it if you started doing like mail day videos once a month on YouTube, and you could just take us through your journey of opening them. You know what I mean? We can live vicariously through you. You know. There you go. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Well, not that any of us can follow that up, but Logan or Tim, you got anything in your vicinity that you've recently got like to show off?
Yeah. I do. Just give me a moment to get him.
All right. How about yourself, Logan?
Well, the only one that came recently is the Lafreniere PMG.
Ooh.
I really like that, especially with the red on the jersey. That looks really, really nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I just been looking at it and was like, I think, right initially when they first came out, they were way more expensive than what I got for it. So I was like, that's kind of the pathway that I took was like, it's cheap right now. So
he's definitely like what 1A, 2B when it comes to rookies from that year. But I feel like with all the hype that he had originally, if he does get hot and that team comes out of the gate blazing, his stuff will come back up to where it was probably, I would think.
Well, I don't know. I just remember initially when it first came out, it was like I'm looking at Synergy like cards numbered out of 799 of Lafreniere, and it was like, why is that like an $80 card? Like, come on.
Dude. People are got a little bit out of control. Hopefully that teaches them a lesson not to go all in, because even the big rookies from Upper Deck this year, like a lot of their young guns, I mean, Spencer Knight, get that $15. Cider, he'll come down to probably 60, 70, 80, maybe even less. But that's a discussion for another time. I think people are starting to realize that you don't have to be paying that much for these cards. There's so many of them out there. So even the Laffy out of 90, I mean, it's out of 100, but there's 90 of them. So, I mean, anyways, cool. Awesome, dude. How about yourself, Tim?
Yeah. So I got my first vintage Gordie Howe card that's not even a size card, but for me, I always loved it.
Did you say who, Kelvin?
I said, ooh.
Oh, I thought you said who. I was like, well, just some old guy.
We're familiar with Sportscasters cards, but I got familiar with them through seeing Wayne Gretzky's Sportscaster Rookie Year card or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's a bit of a bigger one.
Oh, that's cool.
And here is, for example, a standard size, right? So
wow.
It's just right up my alley. I love odd size cards, whether they're minis or jumbos. I love them all. It's Gordie Howe, you can't, I'm a red guy, right? So why not? It checked the boxes for me. So that was my first Gordie Howe vintage. I recently also picked up, I'm sure you guys already seen and you already know from Instagram, but my Huberdeau Platinum Medallion out of 25. Yeah.
I got to show a picture of that just to do it justice. Good grief.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, these are absolutely incredible. I remember seeing one Aho when I was grabbing some of his stuff. I think aren't they the same year? I want to say that they are.
Well, 16, 17.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. So it went for a lot. Now it would probably go for even more. Yeah. But beautiful. Just because I wanted to see one. I think I put I put other players on my watch list just to see what one looked like. But now I can. I just ask you, right? I don't know how you guys feel about this. Wouldn't it be nice if Chronology came out again in a couple of years, maybe 1 or 2 years? Do it again? No, maybe not with the rip cards. I'll say those were a bit overdone. I ripped one myself, and I was like, okay, this whatever. I get it, but the time capsules, but I'm talking about or do masterpieces as a standalone. I mean, that would be really fun to see the canvas cards because I mean, these are just amazing. Like. This is such a fun design set. The pictures they use are actually they're hand painted or they're hand drawn, painted, and then they use them on the card. And you can pull redemptions for the original drawings. They're the guy who has the flurry reached out, and then he's like totally not even like said anything. So he like teased it a bit, and he's like never. He must have had like a regret, like okay, I can't sell this. But it was like about the size of that Gordie Howe card. It was the original drawing for that flurry card. But I would like to see even masterpieces come back, and like they could easily do legends. You could have all the Gordie Howe, all those guys, Gretzky, Brodeur, and then all the modern guys. But I don't know. I see those and I'm like, gosh, there's so much potential. Like those are so wonderful, like highly collected too, right? So does Brodeur have any chronology from that year?
He does. He does have an auto in it. I don't have it. Not too interested in it, although it does look cool. Was it chronology that did the diamond cards, the diamond relic ones?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That I do like. I really want one. It's ridiculous, but I want one.
The black ones out of 9. The autograph. I don't know.
Oh yes, yeah. So there's the regular diamond relics out of 36, and then there's the autograph. Yeah, the black one out of 9. That's right.
Logan, when this was on EPAC, did you open any of it?
Regretfully, 1.
Yeah, because it was really expensive, right? It was like a $600 box or something.
No.
Oh, wasn't that bad? Okay.
No. It was maybe 200. I don't know, but it was like 4 cards, just like how Ultimate Collection is right now.
Okay.
I think I got one of those nameplates of Logan Couture, Joe Pavelski.
Okay.
And I was like, cool. And then I got like a North Stars and then 2 other cards. It was totaled out to be like $40. So
right.
It's definitely a loss on that, but no, I really like the diamond, the black ones.
Gotcha. Yeah, those do look nice. A flurry went for way too cheap. I didn't bid on it because, I was like, I'm not going to be able to afford this. But went for a decent amount, but not too much. They do look nice. I think the pictures they use are what do it for me. But yeah, the diamond relics are fun too. I'm with you, Kelvin. That's why I miss National Treasures. It would be nice to see them do that set again because it's my only flurry miss that I regret never bidding on that card. It wasn't very smart on my part. Yeah, because it's out of 5. Anyways, whatever. I am happy with everything that I have too. So as far as like releases, I've read that Black Diamond and Clear Cut are coming up here before the end of the month. So Clear Cut, obviously they do the canvas autographs. I love those to death. They usually do flurry some justice. And Black Diamond, they do really crazy inserts, where they like do stuff like this. It's like layered, and just crazy stuff. I'm hoping he gets he'll be in the Blackhawks uniform and if he's in it. So hopefully we get something to get excited about because it's been about a month since we've had anything, right? Come out. So all you baseball collectors have it good. You get like 3-4 releases a month. We get like 1, maybe 2. So metal should be coming out soon too. We all talk about that. I can't wait. Can't wait for that. But anyways, well, cool. Well, appreciate you guys coming here. Enjoyed the discussion. Looking forward to having 5 of us next week. Might have to maybe find like 1 or 2 topics and really dig in deep. But it was fun being on the Essential Credentials, and forward to having you guys in the future.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure.
Always
Thanks
fun.
Again. Logan, good luck tonight at hockey. Make a bunch of nice saves there, dude.
Sounds good.
All right. See you, everyone. Have a good one.
See you guys.